Omar here from my point of view, and today I have this 2018 Nissan Sentra SR Turbo. Wait a second. Midnight edition, yes. SR Turbo, Sentra, Nissan. So, so this is going to be a comparison video against the Honda Civic that I reviewed. Well, my first 3 videos I did the Honda Civic, so let's see how it compares against that. Since this is the midnight edition, as you can tell, everything's blacked out. You got a nice little black spoiler right here. The badges are blacked out as well, so the SR Turbo is blacked out as well. This little passenger part right here is blacked out. Got blacked out 17-inch alloy wheels. Nice little sunroof as well. Blacked out mirrors. Got this V-Motion blacked out as well. The fog lights blacked out, so this is a true midnight edition. For the Sentra this generation, it looks kind of a bland. This kind of spices up just a little bit, adds some nice little flair to it, but from my point of view, it's just a normal midnight edition of a vehicle, I should say. We're gonna go to the dealership and look at the 2020 Sentras as well, so hang on tight for that. But while I have this previous generation of Sentra, let's go ahead and go inside. But before we do, here's the key with me right now. This is a very small little light key fob. Anyways, it doesn't have the remote start option. We got the lock, unlock, and all that stuff. I have the keys in my pocket. Touchpad right here, which you can press to lock and unlock the vehicle. There's no touch sensor on the back of it. So doors are locked, you press once to lock the driver's side, press twice, all the other doors. You press it again to lock all the doors for the 3rd time. And then got a little fake carbon fiber little insert on the door. This little central part here illuminates here at night, so you can't really see it. Hopefully I will remember to show you guys at nighttime. You got a little blue stitching on the seats, all 4 seats. Give you like a little racing inspired feel. And you have Sentra Midnight Edition on the floor mats, the drivers, and the passenger as well. Also with that keyless entry as well, you got your remote start. Push your foot on the brake, hit the button to start. I'll get to the engine part here in a second. Look in the interior of this 2018 Sentra. You have Eco, Sport, and traction control button down over here. Gas tank down here, right next to the hood release option right here. Infotainment center, very simple, easy to use as well. You have a CD player up here at the top, scan button, FM, AM, satellite radio. Media, so you have iPod, Bluetooth, auxiliary, CD, and that's pretty much it right there. Climate control buttons down over here. You have dual zone as well, so if you press dual, the passenger side will have a different setting for his or her like. I like to have my synchronized, so that's how to keep it. 12-volt outlet right here, little storage space down over here. Now I get more to the transmission when I talk about the engine, but this is a CVT with manual shifting abilities down over here. Heated seats, which are options, which is nice for the wintertime. 2 little cup holders, and as you can see, you have your auxiliary port and USB down here. Small storage space, but this is a compact car. You do have a nice little sunroof as well. Now let's hop on the passenger and the rear for a quick second. Being 6'9", sitting in the passenger seat, if I put my legs down over here, I mean, it's a compact car, so what do you kind of expect? But this could be okay for someone who's pretty tall for a short distance drive. The seats aren't uncomfortable. They're not totally firmish. They're kind of racing inspired, but you don't have like huge side bolsterings like in the Honda Accord or in the Civic. But the seat support is decent. The door opening is once again average for a compact car. The rear seat is pretty much flat, almost like a bench. All right, so I put up the passenger seat just a little bit, and headroom, I believe you're tall 6'5", it's not going to do back here for you. But back here you have 2 USB ports. So if you have children or if you have some friends in the back here as well, they'll be totally fine, be able to charge up his or her phone. Let's see what we have here. You also have 2 little cup holders back here as well. So this is a bench seat, so it is a little on the firm side. So take that consideration if you're thinking about getting one. Pull this little button right here to pop open the trunk. Now, I did see a lot of reviews of people commending the Sentra for its trunk size, and I have to say, for a compact sedan, this is actually pretty good. Like, the opening for this is like, I mean, look at this. This is my arm right here. Look at that opening right there. That's actually pretty good. You have a spare tire for a compact car. This is a very spacious trunk. So if you ever think about getting a Sentra for, you know, your son or daughter going to college, whatnot, you want them to have a compact car, then I guess you could consider the Sentra just for that fact alone. So what we're gonna do now is compare this generation to the new generation, which I adore, and we do a quick little comparison. And then after that, as you guys know, I give you my thoughts about this Sentra I have on hand. So I have my mask on and I'm right next to traffic, so forgive me while I get the shout out to this dealership. I'm actually here at Action Nissan down here on Thompson Lane, Nashville, Tennessee. And I have a sales associate. He's gonna bring up a new Sentra for me real quick to review and compare against the 2018 one I have on hand. Look at this service right here. He's actually pulling the car. He pulled it up here and he was like, you know what, let's move it into the shade. He's doing above and beyond service right here. And I thank him so much. Ooh, this is great. 2 SRs, same color, everything. He chose the perfect one, and this is just awesome right here. Perfect. There he goes right there. Give him a huge shout out. Once again, guys, here I'm at Action Nissan on Thompson Lane, Nolensville Pike, down here in Nashville, Tennessee. And the sales associate just kindly put forth the Sentra, the 2020 Sentra with the 2018 Sentra. They're both the same color as well, but I have the SR Turbo. This is just a normal SR right here. I'll get to that in a second, but he pulled it up for me just like this, so I gotta really thank him for that. So we already went over the 2018. Let's go over the 2020 Sentra. The front end, this is the new signature for Nissan right here. You still got this V-Motion grille integrated as well. As you can see, the badging is different. It's actually like inside like an emblem versus the old one right here. You do have blackout mirrors as well. This does not have the sunroof option. You do have nice little alloys, but they're not blacked out as it is in 2018. Normal size spoiler. Sentra is not, because it's also not the midnight edition. SR, it's not turbo, but then you got a nice little Sentra badge over here. It's the same key design, but this also has remote start. So the remote start was right here with the circle. So you just press the lock button and then hold the circle button. And it just starts up, nice and quiet. Can't even tell it's running. This is 2-liter SR trim level, so I'm gonna go ahead and open up the doors while the engine's still running. And as you can see, everything in here has changed a lot. The gauge cluster looks somewhat similar, but it's the same one you get in the Ultimate, 160 on the dash. I don't even know where to start. Everything about here is new. So stuff about here is like the position is probably about the same. You have the trunk button right here. Gas cap down over here. Trunk release is down over here, so it's separate from the gas cap. The window switches feel nice. That's feel cheap down here as well. I have nice little soft paddings right over here. Being 6'9", it feels about the same. It's actually a soft pad material. This also slightly. And if my right leg is on it, I feel it, but it's not irritating in a bad way. You have a nice flat bottom steering wheel. Very nice car. I like the stitching on the steering wheel as well. The infotainment center is completely different as well. Easy to use. You got the source and all this stuff. FM, satellite radio, Bluetooth, auxiliary port down over here. There's a huge improvement to the storage space down here, as you can see. Nice 2 cup holders down over here. The engine start button is down over here versus over here. I do like the position of the engine start button. I really do like it. 12-volt outlet down over here. Climate control, very easy, simple to use. Synchronize button down over here, so they can both be synchronized. I'm gonna turn off the climate control. I love the vents. It's very nice vents, easy to use as well. It shows much more class in the Sentra with these little vents. Overall, just a very well thought out sedan. I forgot to hit the record button before I actually entered the vehicle, but nevertheless, it's like a little two-tone interior right here. A little sway insert, orange stitching throughout. I forgot to mention that in the front as well. I put the passenger seat up just a little bit. I do have leg room, but I mean, it's a compact car, so someone who's 6'9", I mean, what do you really expect? But I mean, in the pinch, I can do sitting back here. Only downside I see back here is it only has one USB little storage down here versus the two. That just shows you in the 2018. So that's the only downside. You do have your traditional two cup holders on the little side part. But back here is more comfortable than it is in the previous generation. Oops, had the child lock on. There we go. Let's go ahead and pop up with the trunk real quick and see how the trunk space for the Sentra, let's see if it's changed for this generation. So I pressed it, popped open. And ooh, look at that. It's actually wider as well. And you do have a spare wheel, so not much has changed. It's not as depth as it was, but it's actually wider as well, so not so bad. So this is actually a 2-liter. That's a 1.6. That's a turbo. This is non-turbo. Let's go ahead and pop the hood open real quick. No engine cover on this one. The big 2-liter in a compact car, I mean, can't complain about that. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna take it for a short little drive here in a second. I know this is a turbo and this is a non-turbo, but I'm actually gonna judge the transmission, the way it rides. This is actually the first time I'm actually driving one of the cars, actually doing a quick comparison on against them. And I can't wait to see how this bad boy drives. It's gonna be a very short drive. I don't wanna overstay my welcome. But yeah, pulling off in the 2020 Sentra SR, I can already tell it drives just like the Altima. Very similar in the way it accelerates, in the way the CVT is. I don't feel it jerking around, even at low speeds. I'm slowly accelerating, but it's getting off in its own power. It has blind spot monitoring, so this little orange little light that comes on is for your blind spot. Lane departure as well, so if you heard a little vibration, I was pulling off to the right just a little bit. Very nice and smooth and quiet. Even takes the speed limit down over here as well, so this is actually very nice. Much more refined than the 2018, much more refined. I remember driving the 2018, 2019 Sentras brand new when we first had them, and this is something totally different. Easy to see out of. I mean, I can't see because the little stuff right there, but visibility is great. Even being tall, I mean, if you gotta drive it, you could do. Now it's brand new. I don't want to go with hard acceleration because someone has to buy this car, but we'll give it just a little bit of acceleration. Very smooth, so refined. My goodness, this thing is very nice. And that's it. Yeah, it's a very short drive, but I don't want to overdo it. This is the first time. Thank you, Action Nissan, for giving me the option to do a little test drive, and I really do appreciate it. This is a very nice car. I really do like this car. Only complaint I have, or I wish that was different, is this foot brake. I don't like how it's kind of hard, and it's really close to the actual brake pedal itself, as you can see if I go like this. I wish Nissan would refer to a electronical parking brake down here. That would be nice. But yeah, that's it. That's the review, and this would not be possible for me to drive this car without Action Nissan down here in Nashville, Tennessee on Thompson Lane, and I really do appreciate it. I thank you guys so much. Again, none of this would have been possible without Joe Mackey here, sales associate at Thompson Lane. There goes the address if you're interested. His phone number's here at the top. this would not be possible for me to actually drive and review this 2020 Sentra SR. He even brought in the same color as mine, and that's actually fantastic as well. So this, even though this is a SR turbo, I mean, there's no turbo on this one, but very similar. He chose the right color. This is perfect, and this would not be possible without Joe Mackey. So once again, Joe Mackey, I thank you so much for the comparison video. Now we're going back on to the 2018 and give my point of view. That was cool. Tremendous day. Wasn't really expecting that type of service. And if you would like to do stuff like this, go to dealerships and lease and review cars. Saturdays are not the best days because they're all busy, all the sales associates. So you may be able, it's possible to do a Saturday if that's your only day. But if you're free on a weekday, something like that, that'd be your best option. I can't really judge the performance between both of them. The one that had the 2-liter only had like 150 brake horsepower estimate. This has 188 and it's turbo as well. This is a CVT, different generation CVT. But this feels rugged, I would say. This feels rugged. It looks nice in that color right there. This has 188 brake horsepower, like I mentioned earlier, 177 foot-pound of torque, made it to a CVT transmission. You can plunge it here to manual mode. And as you can see, it would indicate which ratio. It's not really in 7th gear. So click down once. It's very fast responsive on that. You can hear it click it, and how fast the RPM gauges are actually going up as well. So it has a really good amount of horsepower and torque for its size of vehicle. This is a nice little Tornado. And when you floor it, very zippy. It put its torque down pretty good. And you would be at highway speeds and no problem. While it does have a good amount of performance, it still handles just like a Sentra, which is kind of unattractive. It does have that tight ratio steering, like the Honda Civic I reviewed. This, I would say, is best suit for the straight line performance. Overtaking, if necessary. It's not a race car. And to be honest with you, I don't think it's trying to be one. It's a little sporty. It's a tad bit of sporty, but it's not a SI type of sports sedan. I just forgot to pop the hood open and all that stuff. And as we see here on the 2018 Sentra, the 1.6 liter turbocharged engine, it says DIG Turbo, Nissan. I believe that means direct injection. I don't know what the G stands for. But yes, this is a direct injection 4-cylinder. That's why you hear that ticking sound. It actually sounds, when you hear this ticking sound, that reminds me of the Nissan Armada, how it has a ticking sound. And the same for the Nissan Titan. So a lot of these Nissan products are direct injection. But anyways, this actually has 188 brake horsepower, 177 foot-pound of torque. Mine is made it to a CVT transmission, but you can get a manual transmission as optional. So it may be rare and hard to find, but look at this. You definitely gonna need this so it won't melt the hood off. At highway speeds above 75, you can hear a lot of wind noise from the side mirrors and stuff like that, so it's not well insulated. But to be honest with you, I mean, for a first car or for a little commute car, I mean, this is okay. It isn't so bad. That's all I can say. It's a pretty average car. Brakes are okay. It doesn't handle. It's not as zippy handling as the Honda, even though that was just a base Honda. It's not the SI or anything like that. It pulls strong. It pulls very strong. Very reminiscent of the Civic. But even the base model Sentra, or the same price range Sentra that is for this generation versus the Honda, I still think it's slightly better. I'm not too keen on the Honda's interior in general. Foot to the floor. But it's a normal compact car with a more powerful engine and the appearance package, and that's about it. But I do want Nissan to succeed. Have driven the Altima of this generation and the new Altima, the new Altima that was with the new Sentra, I mean, Nissan is heading into the right direction. The CVT transmission has tainted Nissan's reputation. Now the new Sentra and the new Altima didn't have that jerkiness when you left off the gas pedal after you got through accelerating part, sometimes hard. That's one of the issues I find with the CVTs, the Jacko CVT transmissions. As far as the stylings department in that Sentra SR, the 2020 we just reviewed, I mean, it's an evolution process between this Sentra and the new one. So Nissan is heading to the right direction, but I hope it ain't too late. I hope it's not too late with Nissan. The Altima's great, the Sentra is great. Even the new Versa, I mean, the Versa is a subcompact. Yeah, from my point of view, this Sentra, it's a normal compact car with a more powerful engine, sports appearance package, and that's it. And that's what you get. It's not specially tuned, it's not no Type R, it's not trying to be a Type R. But there is a Nismo version of this car. I'm really curious to see how that drives and how much horsepower that has. But this is it for me in this SR Turbo Midnight Edition. But thank you guys so much for watching my video. See you next time.